Welcome in. It's 300 Yards to Unknown, a podcast that starts with golf and goes wherever Phil Mickelson's drives might go. Joining me, as he always does, to break down all the news of the week, it's Eric Patterson from The Score. You can find his work there, and also you can find him on Twitter at EPATGolf. What up, EPAT?
Not too much, Rick. Yeah, it wasn't. DJ was the one finding the train tracks off the tee last week. So maybe it's where DJ's drives will go. Is who knows where this ends up.
That's true. It's speaking of DJ, how bad? It's simultaneously so bad that the guy hits a ball OB on 13, then hits one which I don't know how it stayed out of the water on 15. That's impossible. It's impossible that ball stayed up. That's craziness. And then also the fact that he birdied 14 in between and got up and down on 15. Like, I don't know what's crazier, that it's bad that he was so terrible on two of them, but that he got away with it.
Yeah, he was the rebound birdies were out there for him. Man, that was a roller coaster. I wasn't sure if we were watching DJ or like a 100th ranked player in the world. It's like he didn't want to win it, really. It was interesting to see how he was kind of gagging it away, especially after Todd made triple bogey, just an absolute disaster of, I forget what hole it was, maybe number 12, and then he went OB the next shot. I was like, dude, you were just handed the tournament pretty much. Just put it in the fairway. It's a par 5.
Yes, that's exactly what I felt too. Todd goes full on Freaky Friday, and I get out there and switch bodies with him. It was so bad. That tournament last week. So Travelers Championship, DJ ends up winning it. Obviously, Brendan Todd starts the day with a 2-shot lead. Your boy Mac Hughes goes out in 60. Did you talk to him after that?
I did. I talked to him Thursday night about kind of what it was like chasing 60, and these guys they're just so good. It's not really new to them. It's kind of, if I ever flirted with 30 on the front nine, like, I would be sweating. I wouldn't be able to swing the club on number 10. But these guys are just so focused on one hole at a time, one shot at a time. So he wasn't really thinking about it, although he knew exactly what he had to do. It wasn't like he was overwhelmed by the moment. He just kind of came up one shot short of the coveted 59 on the PGA Tour.
That's kind of wild. So he's in the moment. He knows what's happening, yet he's just like, well, I'm just gonna go do my thing for the next hole, right? Like, what? It's just a number.
Yeah, he like some guys, I was kind of surprised how aware of it he actually was, because a lot of dudes, they'll go out and shoot something super low and be like, yeah, I kind of blacked out, and that was not the case. He knew from like 5 or 6 holes left that he had to have 4 birdies coming in, and he was well aware the whole time, but obviously a little disappointed that he couldn't get it done. He did leave his putt for 59 short,
Yes.
but it was 40 feet long, so not necessarily one you're going to try to give a good run at. He was just kind of more hoping he could cozy it in there and maybe get lucky and have it drop.
Yeah, I think he finished. I think he started on 10, so he went out in 29, and then he birdied right. So 6, 7, 8, 9 would have been his last 4 holes of the day. Birdie 6, 7, and 8, and then gets to 9 right and leaves that. I think it was like a 35-footer short, which is devastating, but at the same time, what an unbelievable round. So like Hughes shoots 60 on Thursday. Now, what is he like? How does he follow that up on Friday? Right? How do you back up that round?
He admitted it is hard, but he said that you do really, as nice as it is to shoot the 60, you have to move on. You gotta completely kind of wipe it from your memory, because you can't let those expectations carry over into the next round, which is easier said than done. Obviously he didn't. I think he went 68-68, which is respectable. Got himself into a late tee time on Sunday, and then made some big putts on the final 2 holes to earn a couple of $200,000 extra and climb into a top 3. So a good run from Hughes. Nice to have some rooting interest outside of just the betting world, but it was a fun tournament for him. He's playing well, so it's good to see.
Not only that, those 2 putts knocked Bryson out of the top 5, and I didn't cash that ticket, Mackenzie Hughes. Thanks,
Yeah, it
man.
would have been the only one who dropped out of the top 5, right? Because there's a
Yeah,
few
there
other
was
names
the
there. Yeah,
big group of Ryan Armour, Brendan Steele, Patton Kazire, Scott
right.
Stallings all dropped out of the top 5 thanks to those putts. Um,
Crazy.
Dustin Johnson, pretty good at golf, huh? I guess still.
Yeah, it's doesn't take long for the best some of the best players of all time to figure it out. Obviously, that knee issue I think was hindering him maybe more than we thought, and I think it was Dottie Pepper in one of the broadcasts, maybe Saturday or Sunday, said he was walking by Austin, Dustin's brother, the caddy, and he goes, "Pretty crazy what my bro can do when he's healthy." And it was just like, yeah, I guess these guys never maybe they don't show it, but you never know if they are 100% or not. And it's just kind of DJ still has it. So he was putting well. I was pretty confident coming down the putts. I was confident with the putts off the tee. We looked a little shaky, which was surprising, but
It's
yeah,
crazy.
still really good.
It's crazy. The putter was unbelievable. Even on so it would have been 13 when he hit the par 5. He hits his ball OB.
Oh, that yeah.
Even I think he ends up making bogey anyway. But
That bogey putt was like
yes,
the chip was short, and I was like, dude, just get out here with a bogey. And he left himself maybe like a 12-footer with some pretty decent break, and yeah, right center cup, but like those so stressful.
that is not. I mean, that shot right there. I mean, you could say this about a lot of shots. The difference. I mean, a one-shot win over Kevin Streelman. But yeah, like that putt to save double, to not make a double there was massive, and the putter was just scorching. Like I was very impressed with what he was able to do.
And that up and down on 15 after like he takes the shoes off, goes into the water, makes this kind of like I didn't know if he was gonna if he needed to go in the water. I guess he did. And then he just kind of flubs the chip. It was just like, dude, you did all that and you couldn't even get on the green. But then the up and down was that par putt he made again, like not short, but like definitely with the pressure on a knee knocker. So it was he put that new putter in the bag, and I don't think it's gonna be coming out anytime soon.
So that new putter, it's a truss putter from TaylorMade, which I remember this from years ago. Like when DJ was the #1 player in the world, he has a huge issue. And he talked about this, I think, with Amanda Balionis after one of the rounds. He can't start the ball on the line that his eye sees. He has a huge issue doing that. I remember when he was the #1 player in the world, there was like some he went and got like, I don't know, I guess it was like putter fitted or whatever. Like he went and did like the whole thing, and they were like, yeah, he's like routinely hitting it 10 inches like off of what his eye thinks he's trying to hit it. Like it's unfathomable that he was even able to get to the #1 player in the world. And this is an issue that he's consistently had, and he's trying to find this putter. I mean, what, 3 different putters in 3 weeks? I think this one works. Like this one helps. It's all about his eye for him, which is unbelievably interesting.
Yeah, he did mention that. I didn't realize how kind of deep rooted those issues are, but DJ is a guy who's tinkering all the time with a putter. Like you said, 3 putters in 3 weeks. He used a similar style 2 weeks ago, I guess, or maybe 3 weeks ago, Colonial, whenever it was. And then he went to the kind of the traditional blade, but the truss in it still. So,
right.
I mean, I personally tried one of them. It felt pretty good. I'm just not like a TaylorMade ad by any means, but it was, I could see why guys would try it. It does feel super stable, and especially on the short putts, and it was working for DJ. So he's someone that like you kind of always want to know what putter he's got in the bag. It's someone I go check on Getty Images to see what they're using in the practice round. Hopefully, if there is a picture, but he's one to keep an eye on if he does keep it. I don't see any reason why he would switch it at this point, but he's prone to switching, so you never know.
TaylorMade, if you're listening, we will shill your putters. Just send us some. No problem. Yeah, no worries. We're doing it for free. We might as well do it. Get a little something out of it. Yeah, it is interesting. Also, Brendan Todd, who I would have been like the player of the year had he won this golf tournament, right? Which is also crazy because I read through the list of like the last 9 PGA Tour players of the year. It's just Rory, Spieth, DJ, Brooks, like Tiger. Like it's
fitting. It would have been fitting for 2020.
And then you drop Brendan Todd on there. Did not make a single birdie on Sunday. Obviously, the triple on 12 derails everything. I don't know if I really saw this coming because he has 2 wins this year, but I think maybe when you get paired up with DJ and you hit one bad shot and everything unravels, you've got no chance.
Yeah, man. Last week we talked about player of the years and we kind of just laughed off Brendan Todd being one of them.
Yeah.
And then I thought he was coming back to get us there with he was hitting every fairway. It was 41 through 42 fairways. Like the dude wasn't missing. And but yeah, that slow start. DJ got off to a slow start and so did Todd, which was nice. And then you could kind of tell Todd might not have had it. He started getting a little squirrely with the driver. DJ was making some big putts, made a big one off the green, and then yeah, that bladed chip over the green disaster was something very relatable to most of us golfers, and tough to see. But Todd is, I mean, he almost proved us wrong. He's definitely a quality caliber, like good golfer again. It's not just a guy who used to have the yips.
Right. I think that's a very good way to put it. His name will pop up here and there on the first page of the leaderboard, a couple times a year. If he gets hot, he'll win one or two. Yeah, we dismissed him as player of the year last week. That's so good.
I was before going into the final round, I was like having a moral dilemma. I wanted him to get because I had DJ. I kind of wanted Todd to struggle from the swing yips for 18 holes only. That's all I wanted. And then for him to go back to his normal ways. But yeah, that one hole was good enough.
Yeah, that's all it took. I'm trying to think what else from last week. Will Gordon. I was more impressed. Okay, so Will Gordon, I mean, when he plays on the PGA Tour, he doesn't really have a tour because I think he has Mackenzie Tour status. But when is the Mackenzie Tour coming back? Do we have a date on that?
It's done for this year. No Mackenzie Tour.
There you go. So yeah. Will Gordon kind of without a tour plays on a sponsor's exemption. The best thing was when I think it was after 36 when it was Phil and Will Gordon at the top of the leaderboard. Phil had 8 wins by the time Will Gordon was born, which was like kind of crazy. But Will Gordon 71 on Saturday, not great. I was more impressed with the bounce back 64 on Sunday because that could have very easily, for a guy who's trying to get his status, go out, shoot a 71 on Saturday. It would have been very easy to roll over and shoot another 71 on Sunday.
Yeah, I truthfully didn't think he would kind of have that bounce back that he did. But you could tell he knew what was on the line because he was fist pumping some of those birdie putts. Like obviously he knew that top tied for third or whatever exactly it was that he needed for temporary status was massive, and he probably treated that like a win in its own. I think he led the field in birdies too, which is pretty impressive for someone making only their like 4th or 5th start on the PGA Tour. So a name to watch moving forward.
So I like this kind of like hungry dog thing now because he now with this special, I don't know what it's called, special membership, temporary membership, he has unlimited sponsors exemptions. So like you're going to see Will Gordon every single week trying to rack up as much money and as many points as he needs to secure the card. So I like guys like that who, I mean, they all have something to play for, but like this is a sprint here for Will Gordon.
Yeah, I think Doc Redmond did it this week, the Rocket Mortgage last year, and then Correct. they pretty much just try to rack up as many points as they can because I don't know the exact rule, but they got to match like they got to get the same amount of points as someone inside the top 125. So it is a quick sprint for them, and with the pressure of the tour card off his back, he can kind of focus on just getting those results. I don't think he doesn't seem like someone at least who's going to take the foot off the gas, and I think he's going to be going for it. We talk about Bryson's swing speed of like 187, 190. Like that's kind of what Bryson has been posting the last couple of weeks. But Will Gordon hit a drive with 186 ball speed. I guess it's ball speed. 186 ball speed that looked effortless, and like that's just some raw power right there. So definitely a name to keep an eye out for because like he's been overshadowed by Hovland and Morikawa and Wolf. So he's kind of cut from that same cloth and he's going to be around for a while.
Yeah. He was the SEC player of the year last year.
Yeah. That's it's a good title to have.
I'm not sure if you're aware, SEC, not a small conference, a lot of schools there. Quick COVID update I feel like we have to do every week at this point because so much changes. Dylan Fratelli tests positive a couple days ago. He withdraws. Harris English tests positive. He WDs for Rocket Mortgage. As of right now, We are recording this Tuesday afternoon on the East Coast. Those are the only WDs for this week. But what do we get? The Wednesday, like when the tour releases the full results, right? That's kind of what we're sweating here.
That's the exact same spot we were in last week. Remember,
Yeah.
I think only I don't even think Champ had withdrew from at this point last week, and then we got like an onslaught of COVID related, and maybe not necessarily all players, but yeah, it's this little 24-hour window is definitely the COVID sweat, and tough. Last week was tough. Again, there was rumblings about maybe canceling the tournament because Monahan was flying up, and they canceled all the press conferences for just Jay Monahan. So it was like, oh, this is the Players' Championship all over again. But luckily, we dodged a bullet. They seem to be okay with having the number of withdrawals that they did, and they're just going to keep moving forward, which is, I mean, who am I to judge? I don't know. It seems to be working out fine for them so far.
That was a week ago. It feels like a year ago. That Jay Monahan presser.
I was so nervous again because like it was kind of, especially with Koepka and Webb pulling out with who are pretty big names. Like we talked about this before. It unfortunately will kind of have to come down to the names. And it's funny, like Dylan Fratelli withdraws, Harris English pulls out of this week. Like if that was Bryson and Fowler, like it's the red flags are being waved a lot faster than they are right now. It's weird that it's like just another guy, but if it was a McIlroy or a DJ or someone for the next couple of weeks, like people are going to start, I don't know. I would assume there's going to be a bigger story to it than just Fratelli.
I think you're right. The tour tightened up some of the protocols, changed some of the protocols. Essentially, now you cannot get on the grounds at all unless you've tested negative, which is kind of surprising. That wasn't the rule before, but apparently it wasn't. You just couldn't go in the clubhouse. Also, they're going to bring in like the mobile gym trailer, I guess, because guys were going off site to work out. And they don't want you doing that. They don't want you going out in the community and, 150 guys all go in separate directions seems like a pretty bad idea. So they're going to keep everybody on site. Couple things with the, add testing, not only before you get on the charter, but after you get off the charter, things like that. So the tour tightening up, which I guess is, I don't know. I guess it's good that they couldn't have had like the strictest rules from day one because then you have nowhere to go. So this like allows them to like kind of, see how things are going, make adjustments and make I mean, the players themselves have been very complimentary about the protocols that are in place.
Maybe a little too complimentary. It seems like every quote we see is, the tour is doing nothing but a fantastic job, great job. They're taking all the necessary measures, but I mean, it's hard to read into those little press releases too much, but it's wasn't sure exactly where my thoughts were going, but it was surprising to see that they were just letting people walk on the grounds without receiving a negative test. So that's obviously a lesson learned there. There were some rumblings that Cameron Champ was getting physio done after his test from Tuesday, and then it came back he was positive. Sorry. So I think that kind of sounded the alarms a bit, but yeah, the gym, that's so weird to me that players would be just going out into the public and working out at random like gold gyms or whatever's down there. I found that very surprising. You would have thought that would have been something they would have had on site already if they're going to promote this bubble, but we're learning as we go. Clearly.
Gyms sound like the worst possible place you could
brutal.
Be. Like, let's all sweat in the same spot around each other.
Touching every dumbbell is covered in
and like the gyms I've been in, like I wouldn't say they're known for like ventilation or like you know what I mean, like that is like the worst. It's the worst idea ever. All right, this week's Rocket Mortgage Classic, the tour heads to Detroit Golf Club. This is one of the new events added last year. This and 3M were the two they added last year. Which we'll get to 3M in a couple of weeks. Next week is Workday. It has a name, Workday Charity Open. Then Muirfield, the Memorial. I guess they're both at Muirfield. And then I think after that is the 3M. Does that sound right?
That sounds right. Yep.
Okay. So Rocket Mortgage Classic, Detroit Golf Club. This is the Nate Lashley event that took everyone's money because I don't know if he Monday qualified or if he got in like late in the week after a withdrawal or something, but a lot of books did not even offer him.
Yeah, he was
So
like a late ad. Someone pulled out and he was an alternate.
yeah, so he was an alternate. I think it was like Wednesday night. He was not even in the DraftKings player pool. So and then he went wire to wire, Eric. So like all the books, like they didn't pay out first round leader. They didn't pay out outrights. The winning
Just
lineups on.
collecting.
Yeah, they just collected everything. It's like at the roulette wheel when it lands on 0 and no one's got it, and they just rake it all in. Like that's what happened last
One
year.
of those weeks. I must have been somewhere at this point last year because I don't remember this event at all. Like I remember Lashley running away with it, but I couldn't tell you I watched a single shot. I don't remember. I might have been traveling, but this is so it's going to be new for me to watch. So we'll see. How it unfolds here.
I just don't think it was interesting. I'm sure I watched it, but I don't remember it. He went wired like a guy that we've never heard of went wire to wire, and I think he won by 5 or 6 shots. Like that, there was no excitement. I feel like so. It was certainly not memorable.
Yeah, and the field wasn't overly strong. I DJ and Fowler were there, but yeah, just one of those weeks in a busy summer that I don't know. Just my attention definitely wasn't on the event last year, so yeah,
He goes
didn't miss much, I guess.
Yeah, he goes 63 67 63 70, wins by 6 shots over Doc Redman. Yeah, that is okay. Listen to this leaderboard. Here's the top. Here's the top 10 from last year.
It sounds like go.
Lashley, Doc Redman, Rory Sabatini, Wes Roach, Brant Snedeker, Joaquin Neiman, Ted Potter Jr., Brian Stewart, Cameron Tringale, and Patrick Reed round out your top 10.
Yeah, like other than like Reed, Neiman, Snedeker, that could be a web.com or a Corn Ferry Tour leaderboard. I think Ted Potter Jr.'s, I guess they're back in the field, but these guys, yeah, Wes Roach, come on.
It really could be.
Wasn't much to write home about.
Apparently, from what I understand, Detroit Golf Club did not intend for that course to play that easy last year. So I believe, and I have no idea how this is going to affect these guys. The rumors from the course are that the rough is up at least higher than last year, not like high, but also the lack of grandstands and the lack of fans where things kind of got usually trampled down. That's not apparently happening, obviously. So rumor is this will play more difficult.
Yeah, the rough's up, but there was some pictures coming out already from the grounds, and it looks like they have like backboards up, like grandstands. Like, like the front of a grandstand has like the sponsors all across it, and then there would be seats and stuff built up behind it. There's no seats, but they still have those sponsorship walls up. So I'm not sure what's going on, but it honestly looks like they've built like bumpers around some of these greens. Obviously, they're probably on like the final few holes, try to get like the sponsorship dollars, get them some TV time, but it looks like they're built fake grandstands. It's very weird.
Great. That's like the NFL.
So I'm not sure how
the NFL's just gonna drop like what are they? They're putting like tarps on the first couple of layers of rows.
Pretty much, yeah.
So they can put sponsorships up.
That at least makes sense. That is not really impacting the field, but I mean to throw up a wall behind the green just kind of looks goofy. I don't know. Well, I don't know how much harder it's going to play. These guys are pretty good, but I could see another 22 under type score winning this.
All right. Well, now I get to ask you who you think is going to win it. Now, here's what was very interesting about last week, Eric. You picked Brooks Koepka to win the Travelers Championship. Then on Wednesday evening, I get a text that says, since Brooks is out, I want to change my pick, and I want to change it to Dustin Johnson. And
of course, change. That was a good swap.
Of course, that is fair, but that is the best swap you could make. So you, my friend, capture the full, I think it was 1.2 million that DJ got you. I had Bryson, which gives me not top 5 money, but it gives me 6th place money. I think it was 235,000, something like that. And you now earn the right to pick first this week.
This week, this is not the week you want to be picking first because I feel like everyone is kind of the same. But I'll go with Patrick Reed. I think playing last year obviously helped. He finished pretty solid at the Travelers, and I'm going to take one of the elite talents in the field. Although I'm not going to bet him, I will pick Patrick Reed for this little fake one and done we've got going.
Okay, fair. I'm going to take Victor Hovland, who played here last year, T13, playing awesome so far this year. I think he's plugged the old gap in the short game, or at least he has through a couple of starts since the restart. And I'm tired. I want the Puerto Rico Open curse to be over.
It's a bad narrative. Yeah, it's always Hovland's going to end it eventually.
You don't think Tony Finau's going to do it first?
Ooh, no. No. I think Hovland wins again before Finau does. I'm going to stand by that.
I think that's right.
I don't know who else has won the Puerto Rico Open recently that can come in and kind of steal that title away, but
Michael Thompson?
He's been flirting around the top of the leaderboard recently.
Did Griot win here? Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now.
Griot won didn't he win like the Safeway or the Fries.com?
Yes, yeah. Right, when it was Fries.com. So Martin Trainer, who if you look at if you ever look at
laugh at guys, but
I know it's so bad. It's like literally he's by far the worst player on tour. Like almost every single week he tees it up. You should look up his stats. It's unbelievable.
It's like his scoring average is probably like 75.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Maybe
he won in 2019. 2018 they had like a Pro-Am. I don't even know how this works. George McNeil and Cheyenne Woods won it. DA Points won it in 2017. Finau won it in 2016. Alex Cheka, Chesson Hadley, Scott Brown, George McNeil, Michael. Oh, it wasn't Michael Thompson. My bad. It was Michael Bradley.
Oh, even worse odds.
Oh my God. Well, I've been saying Michael Thompson for like 6 weeks. I've been saying Michael Thompson.
I don't think anyone really can tell the difference between those.
I just found out. Yeah. So it's basically up to Victor or Tony Finau at this point, and I'm just hoping it ends this week so I can stop. I mean, I talked about it.
So good. Yeah, I was tracking him last week. He likes putting an eagle effort, like 260 to 10 feet and missing the eagle putt. That's his go-to birdie on a par 5.
Yeah. EPAT, what do you got going on at the score?
Rick, more of the same. I have hit back-to-back winners in my betting preview, so I'm going to pump my tires there with Webb and DJ. But I think most people have kind of been in the same book as me, so I'm not going too far against the grain with those picks. But it is nice to finally hit a winner.
Pump away. It's hard to find winners on tour. It is very
last week.
Winners.
The Webb DJ. It's been a nice little run, and now this one is kind of a free-for-all, so hopefully one of my darts will land for the three-peat.
Yeah, we might get chaos this week. All right, that'll do it for this week. That's Eric Patterson. You can find his work on the score. You can find him at EPAT Golf. Thanks for joining me, Eric. And I'm Rick Gehman at RickRunGood. This is 300 Yards to Unknown. We'll catch you next week. Later.